been raped.
Drug charge.
Manslaughter in the second degree.
I had a half a kid cocaine.
Armed robbery.
Death by auto.
Do we blame the police? Do we blame the white man? Do we blame the judge? We gotta blame our damn self.
Selling drugs.
Vehicular homicide.
Arson. Transported cocaine in my body.
I don't care if you've been molested. I don't care if you've been beaten and abused.
Shooting dope. Putting a knife to a man's neck and taking his money.
Attempted murder.
I'm here as a child of this environment.
Dealing drugs.
I killed my husband.
Sell the narcotics.
I don't care what happened that your father did or your boyfriend did or your mother's boyfriend did to you or your mother did to you. Whatever the situation may be, baby.
My mother spent her life in here and died here. And home then became here.
Founded in 1913, this facility was a direct result of the 19th century women's reformatory movement, which identified that women could not be redeemed in men's prisons. This facility was intended to promote appropriate moral character. Today, 80% of the women have children upon their admission. We in fact have women whose mothers were incarcerated here, and of recent note, one who was born here during her mother's term.
From what my mother said about being born here in prison, a lot of the babies didn't make it. I was one of the fortunate ones, so I think I better look at it as in a good light that I was able to come out of this alive, you know? But being born in prison, it is kind of strange now that you think about it, and I really never thought about it. But being born here is different.
If you want life, I will help you get life. But if you want death, then you can stay in the streets. Because the streets ain't nothing but death. And I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired because I'm sick and tired of this shit. That's what life skills try to tell you. So, I'd like to hear from you because in 8 weeks from now, there will be a different you sitting here.
I fucked up my life big time. October of '99, I smoked like 8 cigarettes dipped in this dust. It's embalmed fluid. I knew a lady who worked at a funeral home, and she'd steal it, wrap it up in blunts, and you only need one pull and you're absolutely out of your mind. And all I remember is I've got a knife and I'm just going crazy. My father was cut pretty badly, and you know, right then I was like, oh my God, I'm going to prison for attempted murder. My daughter's in foster care. Every day I wake up, I want to be with her, and I know I can't.
A lot of people have not recognized how many women do go to jail. The rate of the incarceration of the female offender has greatly increased to the point where this population has more than doubled in the 10 years that I have been here. It's a county jail trend, it's a state facility trend, it's a federal trend. These women have made poor choices in their lives, and it's these poor choices that oftentimes have brought them here.
I have a lot of rage and anger in me. I'm trying to do right. You know, I fight, I go to lock.
Now, I told her twice to put this ID on, she refused to do it. I told her to put her shirt in twice, she refused to do it.
There are aggressive tendencies, and we certainly, during any searches, we're prepared to look for items that may be used as weapons. But you don't have to come in like gangbusters to be able to handle a tough situation.
What's wrong? I've been working 7 days a week in the kitchen since November, and I'm physically, mentally tired.
We keep them busy because an idle mind is a dangerous mind.
Change my job.
For some, this is the best they've ever had in their lives. They got a structured environment that they never had on the outside.
For me, I've never worked a day in my life legally. So when I do this, I actually feel proud of myself. Without job skills, you're not going to make it out there, especially if you've been selling drugs half your life.
They can go sell dope and make $1,000 in an hour. That puts food on the table, and that pays the rent. And that's reality.
80% of the population is drug charges related. The pay is... You start at 28 cents an hour.
They've worked a full day, they have felt productive, they're tired, not always happy, but they felt that their energies have been directed in a positive way.
All right, ladies, resume movement. Resume movement.
I'm in
months in my second trimester. I've been locked up through my whole pregnancy. My first trimester, I'm 5 months. This is supposed to be like a happy time in my life, you know, and I'm behind bars.
How about mother, daughter, sister in here together? Aunt, grandma, they all in here together.
It's sad. It's hard for me because I've never been in jail with my mother before, in prison with her. Hey! I never thought that we both would be in jail together. Shoot, I ain't never think I was gonna be in jail.
A mother and a daughter locked up in the same place. To me, it's just like being home long as I get to see her.
If I could have avoided you coming here, I would have.
You tried to. You went to court and told them the drugs was yours, but the judge didn't want to hear that. When you out there and you do wrong, I mean, you got to pay the piper, and that's just what happened.
Can I assure myself at night when I put my head on a pillow that there's no drugs inside this institution? No, I can't. But obviously the department has taken a very proactive stance towards it.
Drugs is something that I really didn't want to do. I used to disrespect addicts, and I didn't like to be around them. I used to call them fiends and stuff. So I guess the shoe went on the other feet to show me that you can be in this category too.
The inmates will get brought out, 10 at a time. They get pap searched, they'll get the scan.
70 to 80% has some kind of substance abuse problem, either alcohol or drug addiction.
That's all I knew.
Put your palms up for me.
It's just like a little baby growing up around people that's talking Spanish. They grows up and they know how to talk Spanish very well. And this is why I know so much about drugs.
The detection machines can measure up to 1/1000th of a gram. Sergeant Schaefer, Officer Oberly.
My grandfather sold drugs. My father sold drugs. My mother sold drugs. My brother sold drugs. Everyone sold drugs.
When I was selling drugs, I loved it, the money coming through. I mean, I felt as though I was a good drug dealer because it took them a long time to catch me. It was just the getting high part.
Just bring your hands down by your side, bring your bodies all the way into the fence. Step into the fence.
That comes up for cocaine. I'm going to send an officer right there now and have her stuff searched. You're going to go to the sergeant. What are you going to do?
But I've been locked up and going to be locked up for a good amount of time, so now I don't have to worry about waking up needing no bag no more.
My mother was strung out on heroin. So she left me homeless and my brothers and my sisters, so we had to live in abandoned cars, vacant buildings, because that dope was calling her and she wasn't hearing the cry of her babies. I spent many years coming to this place because my mother was first sentenced when I was 14. I always was concerned about when my mama was going to come home. Because I longed for my mother, as your babies long for you. And as to catch that bus, a little baby in the back of the bus going to see his mama, because ain't nobody care about me. But y'all feeling me? Y'all sure y'all feeling me? Because I don't give a damn. I'm here to talk to my mother. I got tired of wondering when my mama was going to come home. It's all right, baby. Let them drip. Because the babies are crying now. If it ain't about our life and about the babies, then we got a problem here. I'm telling you, women, we got a problem. Because if it ain't about that, it ain't got nothing to do with nothing else no more. It's now time to turn on the light.
I have 7 boys and 2 girls. And my aunt has my children. She's helping me with them. They call her mommy and they also call me mommy. Due to my drug addiction, I lost my children. I just had a baby, January 17th, and I was here January 23rd, and I won't be able to see her open her eyes. I won't be able to be there when she take her first steps.
Nobody ever visualizes the mother going to prison. I mean, you think back to your Donna Reed shows. It's never been accepted that a mother's not going to be involved in the child's life 24/7.
Today is Saturday. Today is visits.
You come see mommy, yeah. Single file, one at a time.
A lot of the mothers don't want their children to come visit because they don't want to see mommy in jail.
What's your name? Aaliyah what?
Other kids are probably talking about their mothers. What did you do for Mother's Day? I went to visit mommy at the prison. It's hard to imagine what's going through their minds.
Is the gate open?
I think so. It's not open.
See, there it goes. There it goes.
The stigma's got to be there on those kids.
Okay, guys, you ready? Okay, let's open that door.
You miss me?
There's got to be a degree of certain tenseness or awkwardness versus what a mom and their children would do at home if they read a book or if they played together. Still in a large environment, you're still in a crowded environment. It's not a normal setting.
I'm going to come back.
Yeah, I'm going to come back. I'll be home soon, okay? I miss you so much. Have you been a good girl?
You like our shirts?
Yes, nice, beautiful.
Yeah, Mama, like that. Are you going to take me to ballet?
Are you?
Yeah, she signed me up for gymnastics.
And gymnastics? You can't fit what you've missed all these months and years of your children's life into 2 hours. You know, it's just not enough time.
Are you going to be out so you could come see me for my ballet?
No, not for you and A, Mommy.
Are you going to be there for my birthday?
No.
D.
A. D. I do. Now you say it. Baby, how come I call you don't want to get on the phone? Still mad at me?
Huh?
You still mad at me?
No.
I don't think he can accept coming behind bars to see his mother. He's so shy. See the office over there? My son telling me he don't like cops. And I told him, no, cops didn't do nothing. Mommy did something, you know. So it's take a toll on him.
I'm going to be home soon, you hear me?
Alright? I love you, though. Just want you to know that, okay? You hear me?
Yes.
You're right. Hold on and kiss me.
Love
Mommy, I have to go, mi amor. I have to go.
Come on, get down. You gotta get down, David. I got to go, okay?
Buy me a truck.
Okay, you gonna be a good boy? You gonna be good for Mama?
I gotta go. Before they say something to me.
My daughter tried to kill herself twice. That's why my mother was so sad today. Because she raised my daughter.
I want to give you a hug so bad.
I know, we can't do it, but that's okay, you know. I know you feel. So, my daughter can't take this anymore.
Hi, baby.
When they walk out the door and you know
God bless you too.
that you can't come with them, it hurts.
Her last words to me, Mommy, help me. Don't let them take me away. I had to turn my back on her. I'm in the process of going to court to assure that my daughter doesn't end up with strangers. Actually, I brought photos I'd like to show you who we're talking about. This is my daughter. They keep wanting me to sign my daughter over, or the state's gonna put her somewhere where she doesn't know anyone. There's all kinds of things that go on to little girls nowadays, and my daughter's beautiful. I don't want to risk her being molested.
We had a very brief telephone conference with the judge.
Basically, he told me I'm not going to see my child until she's 18. He told me the same thing everyone tells me. She should be with you. But I can't sign my rights away to my daughter no matter what. I'm like, you know, just coming back from talking to the guy about court tomorrow. He asked me if I pray. I said, yeah. He goes, okay. I think you better ask for guidance.
He said to pray?
There.
From me to you, that's your only child. I would not do it. I don't care what the lawyer said, what the judge said. God has the last call on everything. Man can say what they want to say, but that's your child. Everybody makes mistakes. I've seen people do years and go home to their children. Why you? Why make you that only one who, this is it? Today is your calling. Don't let them get that. I wouldn't.
I don't have time to let my emotions roll right now.
It's not even about adding up what you did, what they did. It's the fact that you're a mother, and that's all that should count. And I don't know what court system can just sit up and say, okay, she made a mistake. Let's take her child from her for the rest of her life. It does not make sense to me.
The state shouldn't be taking them out of foster care and putting them up for adoption. Why can't they stay in one home, still have contact with the parent, and not dissolve the rights of the parents? This is ridiculous. She's not going to be here for the rest of her life. That kid knows her mother. Because somebody did drugs doesn't mean they weren't a good parent. I happen to know girls who were more attentive getting high.
I feel like the worst person in the world. It was 2 days before my son turned 10 months old. I put both of my kids in the bathtub because I was going to go to welfare, and I had turned around for a second, went to the bedroom. My daughter comes and nugs on my pants and says, "Mommy, Nene." That instant, I dropped everything that I had in my hands and went into the bathroom, and all I heard was the water running. It was filling up. By the time I got there, he was floating. I've been down almost 3 years now, and I'm only 22 years old. He felt like a baby doll that you pour water in and it just jiggles around. Felt like Jello. He was blue when I got him out the tub. I kept telling him he has to eat. And if he doesn't eat, he's going to be hungry later. He wouldn't get up at all. At that time, I didn't realize. And my mind was so out of whack that I didn't realize he was dead.
She, no way in hell, intentionally meant that her child was going to drown in the bathtub that day. Somehow she got distracted, and unfortunately a terrible accident happened. However, by the time the inmates come here, they've already been judged. We're not here to judge them. We have to keep them locked up.
Some people shouldn't be here. Some people here would doing 5-year sentences for 1 bag of cocaine for nothing, for paraphernalia. And they're black and they're poor and they don't have money for attorneys. I mean, that's insanity. How many girls come from money, kill their kids, and go home before us?
Oh, it's a couple of them.
Okay. If you're not born with a golden spoon in your mouth, you fall by the wayside.
Ain't gonna be no Martha Stewart's up in this place.
America is constantly building jails, making room in the prison. Just packed. It's definitely an industry. You can believe that they have a cell for you. Keep them coming.
We gotta do what we gotta do to get out of here. It's a chain gang without chains.
Hurry up.
You want me to go against my people? I
right with it. I never felt that I should fight a white person because I'm black, but what they did to my people way back in the days, mothers and fathers been cotton, beating ass slaves, raping our black sisters, making them have babies, babies and babies and babies and babies and more babies. What is the problem now? Why can't we communicate to stop the racism and get rid of all the hate? Because black ain't nothing but a color.
Being out there on the highway, it does give us a little freedom.
This is what we call freedom.
Right here. Even though we're walking down this highway, we're still locked up. If you go too far in the woods, it's like, hey, get over here.
Nothing ever lasts. After 4 years in, I was released. Spit up, spit out of the belly of the beast. But just another victim in the system, no doubt. So I gotta watch my back because the beasts are out. Yo, you're just another victim in the system, no doubt. So you better watch your back because the beasts are out.
When your husband's screaming at you all the time about every little thing that in his eyes you're doing wrong, you fear for everything because you know you're going to get hit. You know if you don't have the house cleaned or straightened out in a certain way, you know he's going to freak out on you. If the dinner's not cooked right, if the meal's not cooked right, then you know you're going to get beat up. So yeah, you walk around eggshells because you don't know what kind of mood he's going to come home in. So you do everything and anything you can to please him, to make sure he doesn't have an excuse to hit you, or to scream at you, or to make you feel like you're this small. But it just seemed that nothing pleased him anymore.
East wing, please.
It means just being stupid and taking it all the time. Thinking that there's got to be something better than this. This can't be love. My father tried to kill me when I was little. And if I didn't do something that my mom told me to do, you know, I'd get beat for it. If you're a child and your parents are beating on you and they're saying, I love you, then that's love to you. One night, I was washing dishes when my husband came home aggravated. He had taken a knife and he was going to hurt me with it. My son was asleep, and I guess he must have heard the yelling, and he came out and tried to get in between us, and David pushed him out of the way, and he bumped his head, and he fell down, and then that's when I snapped. Everything just came out, all the anger, all the hatred, all the pain. I stabbed him 71 times.
Everyone is not here if there's been a manslaughter or a murder because it was a self-defense issue. There have been women, I think, here who have used the domestic violence or the abusive relationship as their reasoning. Did I think that they possibly had other avenues? Yes, they might have.
I committed a horrific crime. I mean, I had a lot of sexual abuse by my uncle. And my older brother abused me as well. And you think it's normal. You think it's normal behavior. You think everybody's doing that. I adopted 2 children, and I thought that they were going to be the cure-all. But abuse isn't love. It was, you know, over the years, building up. There was something about my older child that just brought out the worst in me. I don't know if I saw my own pain through him or my own abuse issues from my past. But the kid started with the crying and the whining and the crying and the whining and the crying and the whining. And I just remember, you know, me trying to put him down for a nap. And, you know, he was on the potty and he kept it up and kept it up. And I just kind of slammed him. But I really didn't think he was hurt. And then a couple hours later, he went to bed and he never woke up. When I got, you know, locked up in the county, people threw the piss at me, threw the cigarettes at me. When you come from abuse, you just do what you know. It's like a diabetic in a bakery. You know, it's sitting there and The more you don't want to do it, the more you do it. The more you go for the cake.
I've never been in trouble before in my life. Don't even have a speeding ticket. To get out of the house from my abusive father, I was married at 14 and a half. His oldest brother raped me. I went back home. My last husband was 6'2", weighed 235 pounds. And to me, his hands were a lethal weapon. One time he had put my head through the wall, and another night he beat me with one of my shoes. You know, just thing after thing after thing. And I just snapped. I couldn't take it anymore. I shot him. Even had my eyes closed, but I still hit him. I call it self-defense. They don't. They call it aggravated manslaughter. I got 30 years with 85%, which if I do that time, I would be 83 and a half years old when I get out of here.
My oldest son is in Annandale right now, and I have a 16-year-old who's locked up too. He's seen it all. He's seen me do it all. He's always been right there. They are walking in my footsteps, doing the same thing, the drugs selling, the guns, the slinging and stuff. When my son got locked up, the girls that know me, they'll tell you I was bugging out. I was about to lose it. And I have a 30 to life sentence. It's time for this pattern to be broken. My co-defendant boyfriend and we sold a lot of drugs. The two people that was selling for him, both Caucasians, they would run off with big quantities of drugs. And he was going to make an example. He strangled a woman, and he stabbed a man 24 times. He then wrapped him up, put him in the trunk of his car. I helped move the bodies. I'm not in denial of that. Took him to Weekway Park. Set him on fire. And it was it.
A lot of the women say, Mrs. Blackwell, you're never going to see me again. The first thing I'm going to do when I get out is going to find myself a good man. And I almost shriek, because probably it was that good man that helped assisted with getting them incarcerated in the first time.
I'm tired of niggas. Now what is niggas? Niggas ain't nothing but one's ignorance. Ain't got nothing to do with your color. It's a state of mind. You know, I gotta represent like a motherfucker, so I ain't playing. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Let's hear Sister Eliana. Will we? Let's hear Sister Eliana.
My sisters, you can't blame anybody for where you are today. You made a decision that this is where you wanted to end up. But it's time to turn that thing around. You've made up in your mind that you ain't no longer gonna let this time do you, neither are you gonna let somebody else up in this hall do you.
Stick on that for a minute.
So now we playing this game lickety-licky, sucking one another up and down because we now do not have the fulfillment of our man to contend with. The reality is that when I get up out of here, I'm going to get me some dick. When that's the reality, why you playing yourself? Stop playing the game. That's what the truth is.
We just kind of got a little offended because although it wasn't directly related, it still felt like,
you know what? Let me tell you something. Your sexual preference is your sexual preference because that's where you are.
But then us, that's been in it for dear life, you know, it's making us look bad. Because it's like,
beautiful dad, a beautiful wife.
You got a beautiful wife?
Yeah.
What's your wife's name?
There's a bonding experience that often sets up between women in an institution. Subliminally, there is like a family structure of a mother, father, child, aunt, uncle, that they form as a family unit, and an outgrowth of that is a couple relationship.
You can see it. A blind man can see it. You don't want to walk or something. You can see who go with who.
"Baby, I love you," you can hear being yelled across the compound. It does not necessarily mean that this is a type of relationship that someone might have if in the past had been in a heterosexual relationship, but it certainly satisfies a feeling of value and self-worth, that I count for something, someone cares.
They say they're gay for the stay, but it's not condoned in any way.
It could be a problem, and it is a problem, because when that relationship ends, we get our fights, our assaults. I don't get along with her, Mrs. Black. You can't house me. You know we used to have this thing together.
If you don't know those inmates, and you don't know what they're all about, you're never going to survive in this business. You have to get to know them. The best thing is walking or walk and talking or talk.
1, 2, 3, go! 1, 2, 3.
There you go. They see you out there getting involved in their programs, they respect you. The AIDS ball shows that the women actually care. They care about society. They care what's going on out there.
I've lost a lot of family members. I have a little cousin that's been born with HIV.
My father passed away of it while he was in prison.
I got a niece and a nephew all day other day sick, but they're still doing drugs.
The women, with their generosity, raised approximately $700 for this cause.
A lot of women here have HIV. They talk about it, they don't hide it.
I've been sick for 15 years. I have a 13-year-old, she also sick.
The people that have this disease, they teach me how you could get it, because I had no idea. I thought you could get it from just a kiss.
People that don't understand the facts, they're more dangerous to me than I am to them. If I catch a common cold, it could kill me.
Most of my life I've been a prostitute and an intravenous heroin user, and only by the grace of God I'm not HIV positive.
Everybody say parole.
It's their give back to the community as well as us.
It's all about giving back. It's all about loving.
Every day since my incarceration, I've fought to prolong this day in court.
Court system finally caught up with her.
The state is trying to terminate my parental rights. They keep wanting me to sign my daughter over to assure that she stays with the family that has her. I would never give her away, but I'm really in a no-win situation. I can't let the state take her and put her somewhere where she doesn't know anyone.
They look for the best interest of the child in this case and all the other cases which women lose their parental rights on their kids.
You know, I had to let go when her father passed away in September, and I'm gonna have to let go again. My worst nightmare is like in front of me.
10-8, 10-76.
Don't sign away your heart, you're a child. But I did. I gave a verbal statement. So I don't actually sign.
You gotta go back again, or?
It's final. I don't go back to court no more. She's not my daughter legally no more.
I still have to do another 15 years in prison, but I've truly learned a lot from this class, from this life skills group. Last Thursday was our last week, and now we're waiting for the graduation.
Some of you are coming home now soon. Some of you going to the halfway house soon. Come before your babies. Come before your family, return to society, and when they look at you, they say, who sent you? I'm not that bitch you used to call me. I'm not that whore you used to call me. I'm not that prostitute you used to call me. I'm not that slut you used to call me.
This is your day to shine, baby. It's your day for you and you alone, and you're gonna keep it that way.
Let's give a warm welcome for Martin Luther King III.
There's something wrong with a society that would create an 800% incarceration rate for females in 10 years. Wherever there's darkness, crimes will occur. But the guilty one is not merely he who commits the crime, but those who create the darkness. The greatest person that I ever met was a man who served 27 years in jail for doing nothing. His name is Nelson Mandela. He didn't become bitter. He didn't become hostile. He didn't become angry. He overcame all of that. He even invited the white guards who were with him to his inauguration. He could have embraced hatred and hated white people. And had he hated, perhaps he would not have survived, because hatred can eat you up. Thank you, and God bless you. That's right.
Congratulations. This is a new day.
The ultimate goal for our women is not to come back.
I'd like to be put out of a job. I'd like to see less women incarcerated.
I'm so concerned about the future for my children. I just hope to God that, I'll be able to repair whatever damage has been done.
Suck it out. I'm going right and get custody of my daughter.
I'm going to go work. If I have to put so many hours in, I'm going to put so many hours in, because I'm not trying to come back here.
I'm just taking so much for granted. My children, my family.
I've been here 4 times. This is it for me. Cashing my number in for sure.
I was born here, but I'm ready to go. People can change, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not coming back. I'm sorry. People say, don't say what you ain't going to do. I ain't coming back. I'm not feeling it.